Alrighty then, I'm just going to make an easy meal tonight, one that my husband really likes. It's just a chicken on rice meal with curry powder in it, and it is something that I make sure we always have the ingredients to make from food storage. I could use some of my dehydrated rice because this is served on rice. I'm going to be using my own pint of chicken breast that I canned April 15th of 2014. 1 can of my chemical cream of chicken soup. And I could also use our own dehydrated onions, and I could use Thrive sour cream powder. Now in this case, I'm going to make rice. I have chopped up an onion because I had some onions just ready to start sprouting. And I have sour cream. But this is a dead easy meal to put together, and it's really good. We either serve it with a salad or we'll serve it with asparagus. And we grow asparagus in our garden, and this summer I should be able to actually harvest my first asparagus. Other than that, we get the kind in a can or fresh. Dead easy. I'm going to saute these onions in butter. If you were using fresh chicken breast, then you would chop it up, saute your onions, get them soft, then you would add your chicken pieces and get them tender and cooked. In this case, it's dead easy because that chicken breast was raw packed and it is already cooked, and it's extremely tender, and it has some of its own chicken broth in it. So it's dead easy, and you can do it from food storage. We think it's important to have a lot of menu items that we can actually put together if these items weren't available in the store, if they were unaffordable in a store, or if we didn't think it was safe to leave our house for a period of time. We want to be eating well. So this is one of those that we just make sure we have on hand. And might I say, in the name of clean food, wash your rice, please. If I go to another friend's house, and when it's rice time, they just pull it out of a container, throw it in a pot, or just open a bag of lettuce from the store and don't wash it, like, ew, okay, clean your stuff, people. You don't know where it's been. I freeze all my rice and pastas first, okay, but clean it. Don't hurt nothing. That's all I'm doing, and a half a stick of butter in my little cast iron pot. I'm sauteing, I'd say that was a large onion, and just going to get it tender. So my 2 cups of rice and 4 cups of water are back there doing their ricey thing. My onions are sauteing. See, ain't hard so far, is it? Dead easy. And I could do it over a fire, in the yard, in a pit. Alrighty then, my onions are where I want them. So now, let's open our chicken. Oh yeah, nice seal. Ooh. Now watch. I didn't say it was pretty. Check it out. I love when that happens. It is so tender. I don't season it when I can it so that I can turn it into whatever when I use it. If you were using fresh chicken, of course you'd have your little chunks in here and you'd have to cook them till they're finished. And if I were doing that, or when I do that, I just put the lid on this and let it sort of, and then the broth, in this case, will cook off. So, but I do need to get it hot. And I'm going to smush it up some. You know, like big chunks. It's not hard so far, is it? Dead easy. So I choose to put my half teaspoon of curry powder in at this point, whether I'm using canned, home jarred canned chicken or using fresh chicken. And in this case, I break the chicken up to where it's kind of shredded, because this will make at least 2 lunches for us also. Let me get my rice off of here. It's my rice going crazy. Need to come up here on a diffuser. Set my timer for 20 on the rice. Go, little mouse, go. Got my little mouse timer. I don't think I ever go more than 3/4 of a teaspoon. This is a lot of protein for a meal, for our food storage. If I needed to, I could add peas to this, but I don't want to. It's a very subtle flavored dish. And I put in some white pepper. I don't like the black flecks. I also don't like the black flecks in when I make macaroni and cheese either. So some white pepper. A little bit of salt. Not a much. And I'm going to turn this down on my super burner onto the simmer part. And now I'm going to chunk in my can of chemical cream of chicken soup, which I happen to love and is extremely convenient and is extremely good to keep in food storage, lasts a long time. I don't think I've ever had a can of cream of chicken soup go bad, no matter how much longer I made it. I'm not going to add the cup of sour cream till I'm ready to serve it over the rice, and my rice needs to cook for 20 minutes. Got my little timer going, and notice there's not a lot of liquid in here. All that chicken broth evaporated. That was a natural byproduct of raw packing it. And it's going to be good, but all this is a meal that we like, that we can duplicate in food storage. I try to look at food storage from the point of view, if I couldn't get refrigerated items, could I duplicate a meal that we like? So, dehydrating is a great way to increase your food storage and to keep things from going bad. I get dehydrated rice from, of course, leftover rice. I can make too much rice, I can make too much rice, or I can make too much rice. There's seldom an in-between. It's not something that I often don't make enough of. So if I'm not going to have rice in a meal for that week, then I dehydrate it. Then all I have to do is get my little proper British kettle full of hot water and pour it over the rice. In about 30 minutes, it rehydrates itself. I drain off the water if there is any, and I have rice. Great for taking on a backpacking trip as well. So, just another way to save. And the same thing with onions, but in the name of your eyes and your burning nostrils, dehydrate those suckers outside. I used to have a garage. Now I'm 8.5 feet up in the air, so I only have an underhouse. And I just had a couple onions get the little green sprouts because it's been too cold here on the coast of South Carolina to dehydrate them out on my porch. But I don't dehydrate them unless it's outside, but it is a great way to get onions on sale. And as you know, I am an onion, celery, bell pepper freakopotamus because I am a Cajun, and that is how we roll. Alright, so this ain't hard. But in our case, we kind of like our chicken shredded up. You don't have to. You can leave chunks of it. We just like it kind of shredded all out there. It's not hard at all, but it's good. So the only thing I've done is add a 1/4 teaspoon more of curry. So now it has 3/4 of a teaspoon of curry, and that's essentially 1 pound of chicken breast. And it is good, and that chicken is tender. Just from the canning process. So let's talk about food storage for just a minute. I have lots of things canned. I've got sauerkraut, I've got sweet taters, I've got split pea and ham soup, carrots, tomato soup, green beans. And I have a lot of meats, and I have spaghetti, and I have beef stew. But I can certainly have beef stew, but I serve beef stew over rice. So I need to make sure I have rice stored. Now, I am a knuckle-dragging storage chick, okay? I have some 5-gallon buckets, and I love them. Those are my true emergency backup. But other than that, I save, and friends will give me their Folgers tubs, their Maxwell House. I got these at the dollar store, and they're food grade, an old canister. So there I would have beef stew served on rice. And of course, I want to be able to serve that with a bread or a cornbread. So, flour, I've got my yellow corn meals. Again, they're in items that are left over. Same thing with sugar. And then flour, I keep my bread flour a little bit separate, but I call it knuckle-dragging food storage. I've got my all-purpose flour, and then of course I have some 5-gallon buckets of backup. For the spaghetti, of course, I'm going to want to make a big crusty bread. That's what the flour's for. And then I can serve it on any pasta. Let's say I'm out of spaghetti. I can serve that on ziti, I can serve it on penne, whatever I have going on. But I need to make sure that for each thing that I have canned, I have what I need to serve it on. I choose to store a lot of my pasta in these 1-gallon Mylar bags, and then I stick inside of them, what do you call it, an oxy sucker? One of those little sucky things. So, and these are the thicker ones, nothing less than 3 mil, and it doesn't puncture it. I save old containers because, number one, I'm on a septic tank, and I don't need anything going down my septic tank. I keep my Thrive products handy. I love Thrive, really happy with those. But these, let's say that I have a neighbor and I'm going to barter something. I'm not going to go running out there with a large thing, okay, of rice. I might put it in a Duke's mayonnaise. What am I going to get, a tennis bracelet? I mean, if they don't have rice, they're pretty screwed. But I need to have something to put my items in. I get coffee, different types, some cheap coffee. I mix them, keep them in a Maxwell House can. So, listen, coffee's life, people. Don't get crazy. And every once in a while, 8 o'clock goes on sale. Ooh, I get happy. This is also part of my knuckle-dragging food storage. When I use a whole one of the rice, I put them up here. When I have 2 of these empty, then I put on the list that I need to add that back to my stock pot. So I have a minimum amount that I allow to have on hand. This is knuckle-dragging simple. Knuckle-dragging, dead easy. I store my dehydrated items in glass mayonnaise jars, not the extra wide, just the regular canning lids fit that. Lots of old containers that these were in. Eggplant, sun-dried tomatoes, onions, cabbage, mushrooms, the rice, and I can see at a glance what I have quickly also. I still buy things that are on sale, diced tomatoes. Tomato paste, I cannot make it. What I end up is with burned tomatoes that I worked my tail off to grow, so that don't make no sense to me, so I buy that. But I can't figure out or follow something that says that I need, okay, 250 pounds of flour for the year for 2 people. I don't get that. So I worked it out my own way. So if nothing else, go through your food storage, and whether you've canned your own tomato sauce and tomato soup, go, okay, what can I make with this? If you're going to make a pasta dish, do you have the pasta? So you can do it in a knuckle-dragging way. I've got meats stored, okay, turkey, chicken, ground beef, and of course you got to have your pinto beans, my bell peppers, pickled peppers. What can I do with each one of these? This is instantly dead easy to make with Sloppy Joes. Do I know how to make hamburger buns for that? Have I canned it, or have I bought some of the 10 for $10 sales? I can turn that into tacos. I can turn that into ground beef stroganoff. But I need to serve that on a pasta. Do I have enough pasta put up? So if nothing else, you can go through your food storage and go, what can I do this? Of course, I've canned my sausages, okay? And so I'm going to want to do that with eggs or with pancakes. Chicken soup. I need to add at least a quart, or at the most, a quart of chicken broth to this. Do I have enough chicken broth? Do I have enough beef broth? See, I still will find some when I got things when I used to coupon and I started building a food storage. I still find some, okay? But now I can those myself. But just look at it. What would you do? You could have green beans, right? You can have a vegetable night. You can have carrots, or you could have it with split pea soup. Or you could just have carrots and sweet taters or collards. Oh, and if you have not canned collard greens, in the name of all that is good eating, do it, because it is tasty. So just look at your storage from a different point of view. What meal could I do with this? If you have to pull it out and set it out on your kitchen table and go, okay, that's one meal. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. But remember, why not have some fun stuff too? Okay, apple pie filling. I make my own vanilla extract, my own almond, my own cleaning things. Any way that I can save money. Excuse Fred, my fan, he's in the way. But in the name of make you happy, get some women through PMS, okay, and young teenage girls, have some chocolate chips and everything that you need handy to make some cookies. Why do you want to survive when you can thrive, okay? Cover all angles. We don't need a dessert with every meal, but dessert can make you happy and pull you through some sad. So our rice is going to be ready, and we have dinged on that. So I'm going to get this warm because I do not want it boiling. I want to get it very hot before I add my cup of sour cream. And again, you do not have to make your chicken in this to where it's shredded. We just like it that way. But I could stretch this a long way to feed several people. So 3/4 teaspoon of curry powder's in here. And for once, I didn't add any kind of wild seasoning. This is a real subtle dish, but it's got a really nice flavor to it. Ooh, I like it. Alright, so that's good and hot. So I'm going to turn it off. Drop in my cup of sour cream. Excuse the end of my dooflauchie in your face. That'd be a measuring cup dooflauchie. But I paid for all this, so I'm going to get it all out. Be frugal. How many times you want to buy something? Waste not, want not. That's how I roll. So just like making beef stroganoff or whatever, stir it in here and incorporate it. This also warms up very well. After we each eat, I will make some of those little, they're Tupperware, for lack of a better word, Rubbermaid, whatever, the sandwich containers, and I'll put rice in it, and then I will put the leftovers over it, and usually we can get at least, each get a leftover lunch for this, because we really like it. So look at your food storage from the point of view of what can I make for this, and do you have the items on hand to do it. If tomorrow you could not get to a grocery store, or if you could, it didn't have any of the things you need in it. Chicken, bread, sour cream, onions. Do you have those kind of things on hand? Now, there's nothing wrong with just having MREs or Mountain House or any of those things, but do you want to eat those several times a day? Because I can tell you, as a person who lives in the South, where the summers are 95 degrees and hotter, the air conditioner ain't going to be running if there's not power. Even my solar will not propel my air conditioner, but it'll keep my fans moving. I'm going to be expending a lot of energy. So why not eat good? Do it. Make people happy. So there it is, served on the rice, and I'm going to take that lettuce there and some cherry tomatoes and put me a little salad right there and have a wonderful meal. So it's not hard. Think about your food storage. How many meals can you make? Do you have what you need? Can you grow what you need? What's your plan? Make a plan. Food is not getting cheaper. Good Lord. It's just killing me. Between health insurance, car insurance, I have wind, hail, flood, and whatever, tornadic name of God, something bad insurance. It's killing me. So food is an area that I can control. What I spend and what I store. We're on a well. We're on a septic tank. That wasn't free to put in, but it's there. So some areas that I save in now, as opposed to have been on the grid with those things. But think about it. What can you do to save money, store food, and do you have everything you need to make meals? How many can you make? It ain't hard. Just start. Do like I did. Buy an extra 5-pound bag of sugar. Buy an extra thing of flour. It takes a hot minute to build it up, but it can be done even if you're on a budget. Yes, it can. Now, excuse me while I make a salad and go, eat.